Hello, everyone, and welcome from a rainy evening in Hyrule. Link will remember to put on some boots before dashing out into that rainy night. We've got a nice matchup tonight between Big Dunka of Error 216 and Futon of PugTrio. My name is Sorcerer Finch, and I am joined in the booth tonight by Radical Sniper 99. How are you doing tonight, Jesse?
I'm doing excellently. This is going to be a fun, we're kind of just in the start of the conference semifinals here in the Invitational League. This is our first game between PugTrio and Error 216. So definitely both teams looking to get off to a great start here in this round.
Right, and it will be the first to win 3 of 5 will advance to the Dark World Conference Finals. And we've got two very seasoned runners here with Big Dunka and Futon as well.
Yeah, leading up to this series, Error 216 took down Team Hime in round 1, 3-1, while PugTrio took down the Tile Roomies, also by a 3-1 score. We didn't really see too much of long series in the Invitational for round 1, unfortunately, so we didn't get as much in Veterans Co-op in there.
Although we did get a swordless match in Error's 216's win. Their game 4 was a rematch between Big Dunka and Kermit for swordless. So got a little bit of fun there.
But looks like we are getting started with this casual boots race. For those of you unaware, casual boots is a sword and boots to start. You got to go through this standard Zelda rescue, and then it is just a 7-7 from there on out.
And it's going to be a dark and stormy night before we rescue Princess Zelda. And it's a little bonk right there, but that's okay.
Yeah, overall, our runners are going to be aiming for roughly a somewhere in that sub 520 range at minimum. If you can get into the teens or lower, that's really good. Some top tier runners are usually pushing a sub 510 as well. And of course, maybe we get a mirror or a hammer or something nicer.
The magic drop will at least save a little bit of time from picking up those pots to get that little bit of magic. So that will be kind.
Yeah, so that's a nice little bonus to start off with.
Yeah. So what item do you most want to see here if you're a runner versus if you're if you're commentating or watching along?
Okay. If I'm as a runner, I want to see either a mirror or maybe a hammer and powder. One of those two things. Maybe see some bombs. So, those are the kinds of things that really help out in a run early with these.
Right, and heart container's not bad, at least early on, but it definitely isn't one of those items that we've mentioned so far. And yeah, I agree. From a runner perspective, getting the mirror in this front of escape is wonderful, just because you can immediately go to the back of escape and cut out a good amount of time from the run. As a commentator, I'd want to look at the bow just to see if we get early divergence.
Yeah, we definitely can see some fun routing decisions. We don't always get too many of them, but for Kaz boots, those boots really do give you some options. Maybe you want to set up an early water walk out of the Lost Woods and head over to Ice Rod Cave, depending on if you can get some bombs. If we get that bow, of course, as you were saying, Eastern Palace becomes a really good play.
All right, and sword slashes for Big Dunka, and there is just a key there, so we will continue on. We have not seen the map yet, so we'll go ahead and see what's in the back of escape. Nothing much in the front.
Yeah, pretty surprising. We're already up to 5 hearts, so 2 containers to start this early. Not a bad thing to find, but definitely not what we're looking for. And of course, no bombs yet, but we can bonk to get that back of escape checks. So that's always a nice little piece of Kaz Boots. I think most runners will agree. Kaz Boots is just that much more convenient.
Right. And we're also likely, it's not a guarantee, but we're likely to find 30 rupees also in the remaining checks, so that we could buy bombs in Kakariko if worst comes to worst.
Well, and the cool little thing here, and I gotta assume our runners are aware of this, is, where can we get some bombs without even needing to buy some? And the big one, of course, with those boots is the CAC Fortune Teller. There's a bonkable rock right outside of that house where you can bonk for a bomb. So maybe we get a couple of bonks there, depending on, maybe bush crabs aren't giving us anything, or we don't find any before then. Although there is a moon pearl in Dark Cross.
Well, that's a nice find in the back already. All right, and with that moon pearl, we will be able to go to the dark world without changing our form.
Unfortunate, we all love bunny music.
Right. You rarely get the chance to hear it in this mode either. So, and let's see, we get a little bit of money, and there is the map. So we are going to have an item in the sanctuary chest.
And those bombs to start as a nice little bonus. So it looks like Dunka is going to be just over a 510 here. Futon not too far behind either. So yeah, there's that low teens with a 513 for Big Dunka. That's a good finish. And Futon actually grinding out some bombs off of our rats. So he's not even going to be worrying about bombs at this point. Going to be a little bit above that 520, about a mid 520, 527, 26. Not bad time either, but getting those extra bombs isn't a bad trade-off.
Right, because if bombs don't turn up, then that will be a little bit of time that Dunka might want to invest in picking up some bombs.
Yeah, especially with the game not really giving us a lot of money. Depending on what Dunka is able to find, we might see, a trade-off of saying, do I want to buy, if I don't find the rupees, am I buying Bottle Vendor or am I buying bombs? And we do get a good amount of money on our way through CAC, like 30 in Blind's Hut, 20 in the Well are a given. So there's 50. We'll see what he decides, though.
But unless someone really wants to get those 10 bombs over in Lumberjack Ledge, Aghanim is not eliminated, but that's one thing that we don't need to defeat Aghanim for.
Yeah, definitely not.
And just skipping over that piece of heart in Lost Woods, and we'll pick up that 20. So that's a good timing for that one.
Yeah, that does mean Dunkel will have enough money for Bottle Vendor for sure. But we are headed into Kakariko. Lots of items to check here. No real divergence yet. Not an opportunity for one at this point.
So what trackable item do you think we'll find first?
Honestly, I don't know if we're going to get anything that's going to change how we play yet. Although we get 2 sets of bombs there in Blind's Hut. Like, I think traditionally you're going to see a runner full clear this and then probably do South Shore. Maybe if we get the bow, that's enough to send our runners somewhere else. But I think that's really the only item that might help us see any kind of divergence yet.
Right. Now, the bow versus the power glove, because we're still missing a lift upgrade. We're still... I could see the power glove coming up in the next 5 checks.
Yeah, I feel like we usually get something out of Kakariko, but this has been pretty dry so far. As we do find the boots over in that last chest in the Kak well. And the single arrow, this has been a great Kakariko.
And you know, for all the fun stuff in Kak, that's just the first arrow in the game.
Yeah.
This has been a very dry Kakariko village so far. Double dash there because the running man will stop any dashing, and it's a fourth piece of heart, but
yeah, we're already at 8 hearts as well. This is healthy.
Right. In our quest for 20 hearts, we're already making a good start on it. And there's the Master Sword, so we are just a lamp away now from Aga access.
Now, the one thing I'll have to say about the whole Aga idea, of course, is do you really want to... I feel like you almost have to exhaust your options in Light World first just because of how little you have available in Dark World at this point.
Right. You don't have any way to really get around. You don't have hammer. You don't have... Yeah, it definitely would... It doesn't feel like it would be a rush Aga, and we do get a check there.
I find it interesting that Dunka decided to actually blind check it instead of doing the scout like Futon did. I'm not completely opposed to how Dunka decided to approach this. I've heard a lot of people discuss the idea if Kakariko is as bad as it was, that there almost is a recency bias to say that you're going to find something then at the race game.
Right. If there's nothing here, surely it must be somewhere. And actually, it does have the effect of our runners are very much in lockstep at this point. Very, very close right now.
There's some more money, and it looks like Futon is going to get the money and head to Agina. Dunka skipped the money and is also heading to Agina. I like the Agina check. I just figure, if you're going to go that way, I'd probably pick up the 50 rupees.
Right, especially since... Oh, that's a mushroom location right there that we can't quite get to yet. And Dunka's going to have that information... And granted, it's a check to open up one more check, so not necessarily the best thing you want to see there. Well, there's a lot of money there.
Well, and that just makes it a little bit even better for Futon, depending on... Now Futon's a 20 away from Zora money, while Dunka is, I think, going to be 70 rupees away. Good chance that we'll get that money here in Mini Moldworm Cave or Ice Rod.
Right, there's still a decent amount for money, but yeah, this could be costly just in terms of time if Zora does have our answer.
Now, of course, this isn't to say Zora's even in logic. We are missing a glove or flippers to make that a possible check, but I have to imagine we're going to see a water walk very soon.
Right. Well, there's the 20. There's a 50, so that is... And there's our power glove.
And Dunka is now just over 10 rupees away. But that is enough for Futon.
So...
And of course, that glove is the big piece to make Zora in logic now, so...
Right, so we'll see what's in Ice Rod Cave. This could be... I'm trying to think if there's any... Okay, there is a little bit of money up here. Yep, okay,
yeah,
right,
I was
he's
gonna say
20.
Dunka going for the 20 cave, so yeah, he's planning for this Zora.
And the overall effect is, again, our runners are pretty much back in lockstep.
Yeah, this is very even start here. Really nice to see this kind of race going. Nice water walk setup from Futon. Dunka unfortunately getting a bonk there, but he also gets it. So we will see both of our runners water walking momentarily. Or, oh, so Futon's going to go for the stored water walk here. The big benefit of this is being able to also do the Zora ledge if there's a desirable item there. All it requires is you store that water walk out of Ice Rod Cave, and then you have to hit the fake flipper down at the bottom like normal without screwing it up, and then you'll also have to get a fake flipper out of here. The other possibility is that Futon decides to use the water walk exiting Hobo, but I'm not sure which one he might be going for.
And leaving from here, and will indeed.
Yep, so he wasn't saving the water walk for Zora Ledge, he was saving it for the exit of Hobo.
And to be fair, this is definitely a place where you'd really like to run from Zora, or from Hobo, just in the time that it takes to swim.
Yeah, I mean, it just means that our runners are pretty much back to even again.
Right. Oh, and there's some blue mail in there. So 8 hearts, blue mail. Oh no.
Unfortunate there for Futon getting that bonk. And that does mean that Futon will have to abandon the Zora area for now, but we will find out what that is. Although it looks like Futon might just be heading right back.
And considering your other options are Saha and part of Eastern, but this is not going to be the answer, Zora. So it looks like our answer is going to be towards Eastern.
Yeah, that's all we've really got left at this point. You know, we could go up the mountain without Lamp, but that's even less valuable than the Eastern play.
Right. I think at this point, yeah, our runners are definitely trying to stay in logic, and at this point, I think I agree with that decision. Even though all of the Zora area checks are out of logic, there wasn't really anything necessary up there.
But Saha's Closet does have our mitts, so there we go. That is Dark World access. Dunka is not going to be dipping into Eastern without a bow yet. So we're going to head right into Dark World. I imagine we'll get King's Tomb before then, though.
All right, and there's a bottle as well, so it means you can do a little bit more in Kakariko.
Yeah, it'll be nice to check Sick Kid real fast before heading into Dark World. Maybe we get something that can really benefit us towards the rest of our checks.
Right. Meanwhile, Futon, kind of right behind, going ahead and setting up a... going to run really fast and going to pick up those Titan's mitts as well. And we are getting a Sick Kid check.
Yeah, we just haven't had a lot of opportunity for divergence yet.
That's a good point. Really, and Futon also making the decision to skip out on Eastern for right now.
I do see some discussion in chat about Dunka's proclivities towards the front of Skull Woods, and him not being a fan.
And we have 5-6 in Skull Woods and Swamp Palace, and our remaining pendant over in Misery Mire. So we're probably only going to need one of those medallions. But we are going to need to do Turtle Rock, so we will be on an ice rod hunt.
And it looks like chat was a little wrong here. Dunka is heading to check out Skullwoods. I don't know, maybe the most recent batch of 10,000 seeds told him that this was a good play.
Oh, that's right. Right, because he had analyzed, I think, all of the ladder races?
Looked at spoiler logs from about 10,000 seeds of different modes, and was able to get some data about the item placement proclivity of the modes. So that data is, of course, available to all runners. Doesn't necessarily tell you stuff is going to be a certain way, but could inform you some of your decisions.
Right, and Futon also dipping into Skull Woods as well. So, and there's the big key. So that's just one other check.
Unfortunately for Futon, there was not a small key there, so we'll see how Futon is going to head towards that middle check, though, first.
And Big Dunka just getting in the nick of time to get that, to take a ride with the All Master.
Yeah, that is very tight timing, and that is an amazing find. Really, really timely.
Oh my goodness, yeah. I mean, it wouldn't have been too bad to bunk back across, but having the mirror, being able to go between the light world or between the dark world and the light world, that will definitely help out our runners and open up Graveyard Ledge and check out what's on Pumper Cave.
Yeah, and it makes going through all of the Smith chain at this point also really nice.
Right, with the Titansmiths, which would have already had access, but yeah, being able to go a lot quicker.
Not having to save and quit is very nice.
So let's see. And Futon, with Futon's routing, we'll be getting over to there a little bit behind.
Yeah, I mean, the big difference here is still just Futon having that bonk outside of Zora's domain. If not for that, we're probably even still, but taking that bonk there and putting you out of your water walk is really the difference.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and see what Futon looks like is setting up to go grab that, so we'll go ahead and get that mirror as well. Nice setup for that bomb jump.
Yeah, really well done.
All right, and we'll see if Village of Outcast has any better items than its Light World counterpart.
I mean, nothing can be as bad as that CAC Village was.
Fair. Well, we say that.
Yeah, I'm kind of living to regret it already. Oof.
I mean, I guess the good news is, either way, there is a crystal dungeon that is out of logic to complete without that hammer. Potentially.
Yeah.
Right. Or it's completable. We just might be skipping an item.
Yeah, and the question in chat, do players typically dive the front four of Thieves? I think, given the fact you've got Mirror, even if you don't plan on completing it, you dive the front four in this case. Just because, if you don't even want to clear it, at least finish these 4 checks and come back. Mirror out and come back later.
Oh,
or
and
get
that's
your hammer.
Right, or just make it all a moot point. Well, I think that makes the decision a little easier right there.
Yeah, I don't think there's a decision to be made now.
And hey, Village of Outcast turned out to be important.
That's already better than all of CAC Village.
right, and Futon making his way across as well. Gonna pick up the rest of the Village Valcast items and hopefully dip Thieves Town, because we are going to need that hammer. Not just for Thieves Town, but for Pod and all the other dungeons.
Yeah, hammer is an item you cannot complete the game without. Technically, Pod, Swamp, Ice, TR all require it, so definitely not a completable game without them.
Yeah. And it also just feels nice having the hammer, 24 minutes in, instead of it being your go mode item, the last item that you would need before being able to complete the seed.
And Futon not actually dipping into Thieves Town. Instead heading to K45. I think this is going to be a K45 and then route back.
Right. And with that mirror, and we'll go ahead and pick up that 50. And this could be, I guess, doing Smith Chain partially into Thieves Town.
That would be my hope. I would hate to see Futon decide to... Oh, wow. Futon is hard skipping Thieves right now. This is a surprise, I must say.
This is interesting. We'll see if it pays out, because there are 5 items over here. Even though Hype Cave has its reputation, and there's a cane of Samaria and a bow.
Nice little finds, but I still would say, please go back.
Right, it's a Hype Cave. So we're gonna have silvers. I'm fairly certain Dunka will go ahead and also loop in Hype Cave eventually. So we're going to have silver arrows, looks like, for our racers.
And really, that's going to be great. We're going to definitely see probably Eastern and Pod after this.
And there's a cape. Now, we're not going to need that cape for Bumper Ledge. And we get an appropriate pun from Blind.
Unfortunately, Dunka getting a little bit off script here on Blind. Should be still able to handle the rest of this fight. And yep, down goes Blind. Just $20 on Dig Game.
And at 26 minutes, 27 seconds, Big Dunka has the crystal lead with 1. And yeah, I guess, if you do the front part of, and this still might work out for Futon, being able to loop in, but it is going to be skipping hammer pegs.
Well, I'm hoping the route Futon is thinking is turn in the Smith, go into Thieves, or pick up the purple chest, head to Thieves Town, realize it's not, maybe think, oh, nope. Apparently Futon wants to skip Thieves Town right now, and that is an unfortunate choice.
That is. Now, afterwards, we are going to have, I think, at this point, Dunka will be able to do Pod Eastern back-to-back. It'll be out of logic without the lamp. But there aren't a whole lot of places where the lamp can be at this point, unless we find Flute as well, and then we get more of then we get mountain access. Ooh, oh, that's a fun book location.
Yeah, that's an interesting one to have already. Unfortunately, no fire for Futon, as Dunka finds fire in the Bombos medallion.
Oh, and Futon going to desert to pick up the mushroom, get 1 or 2, can get 2 items, but it is a pendant dungeon. Futon had check the map to see what was there. So I think this will be a question. Oh, okay. I had missed what was on the Smith, and it was flippers.
Well, then Dunka has a lot of options. I have to imagine, you clear out, you turn in your purple chest, get that book, check Bombo's tablet, and then I'd probably dart for Ice Palace. I mean, you're going to have the items for it.
Right, and you're also going to have the Canis Samaria, so you're going to be able to do some of the nice skips as well. So, with Icebreaker, so yeah, following book, like it does get you a lot of checks kind of earlier that Duncan will probably also be making, especially since we are still a ways away from go mode at this point.
Yeah. So Futon went and grabbed that mushroom and is back in the desert to check the rest of these items.
Right, I think we're still looking for the big key, and there's one of the items.
There's a vanilla big key. See if we get that second item. But here we go, Bombo's tablet for Big Dunka. We did not see that on Futon's side, just 20 bucks. And there is our second item in Desert Palace, so nothing here.
But at least it's early nothing here instead of having to fight Lambo for 3 bombs.
Yeah.
that would not feel good. But Duncan is going to pick up that Canis Samaria and Silver Arrows, so yeah, I agree with you. I think Ice Palace will be a pretty attractive play at this point.
Yeah, and there's quite a spirited discussion here going on in chat about, dipping or not dipping Thieves Town. Unfortunately in this case it did not pay out for Futon to skip so far. I think given that mirror, I am definitely on the side of you dip the front 4 of Thieves Town. But that's my take on it. But Futon is going to continue hard skipping these checks. Oh, and we are going to get a fake powder. Interesting.
Okay. And just a piece of heart over on Pyramid Ledge. And Futon does pull off that fake powder. Let's see what Pat has for us tonight.
Just another piece of heart.
All right, and Dunka will instead be doing Pod and Eastern back-to-back. Which, to be fair, they're both crystals, so if Eastern were pendant, it might be a different decision, but...
Yeah, and Futon heading back into Dark World. We'll see how he routes this in now. I think if you want to see this race to continue to be relatively close, you're hoping for a Thieves Town dip here. And it looks like we're going to get one.
We are going to get one. Excellent. That's good. That's good. So, because, yeah, I think the second check, ambush chest, was where we had the hammer, so... but that's not going to feel good either, just because you had hard skipped, and if your opponent had checked this earlier... And we're starting to get a couple items out.
Now, the cool thing here for Futon, of course, is having done the fake powder, he's going to get full magic refill. And then I have to imagine we might see a North Dark World over to Potion Shop and maybe turn in that mushroom before Pod / Eastern play.
That's true, and that would loop a lot in there, including catfish in that area, because I don't know if Dunka will be going that way, but
yeah, I don't see Dunka leaving the pod area or Eastern to head to Potion Shop.
All right, and we're going to be getting a couple keys in the back of pod here. Up. A little bit of a spill there.
Yeah, unfortunately, that bonk, it's pretty common, but sometimes it just doesn't happen, and then all of those beetles enter that area.
Right. I know, like, whenever that happens for me, I'll just like leave and just try again. But on the plus side, you get to burn up a little bit of steam, depending on how much you like those beetles. All right, and these checks are out of logic, and there is a key. I guess Pod is out of logic at this point without that lamp.
Yeah, none of the checks we actually have left are quote-unquote in logic, so not that should stop that should stop our runners. So there's our compass. But so far, nothing really coming out of Palace of Darkness.
Really glad Dunka already has the mirror, because to get the fourth heart piece...
That's always a lot of fun.
But the backup pod was completely empty. Wow, so... yeah, all we've got left now is we've got King Helmasaur. That'll be for crystal number 2. Speaking of crystals, though, Futon is about to fight blind for crystal number 1. Right, and well done. That will be crystal number 1 for Futon, tying up the crystal count for right now. All right, and now Dunka is going through the basement of Pod in the dark, getting close to a room where having some sort of light source would really help. Oh,
yeah,
but
I was about to say the same thing. That Bombos medallion showing its value.
Yep, and speaking of Bombos, Futon is doing hammer pegs, so we'll pick up that Bombos medallion as well. But Dunka showing why this area can get a little frustrating, because those mini helmas really like to, or not mini helmas, my apologies. The turtles really don't like staying still for you.
No, they do have a little bit of, I don't want to call it a homing. It's not like they're homing in on you, but they definitely are attracted to your position. They're not as aggressive as like some of the red guards, I would say, but they do go after you.
Right. And Futon's... Did Futon not pick up flippers?
No, Futon did, I thought. I mean, Futon turned in the Smith.
Right.
Maybe Futon just forgot and decided to still set up the fake flipper.
All right.
You know, go for the... Oh, wait. Did I not see flippers?
Wow. You are absolutely right.
Yeah, I just saw Futon in the pause menu and does not have flippers. No, there are no flippers there. Oh my gosh. I just saw it on the restream.
Meanwhile, Big Dunka does take down King Helmasaur for crystal number 2. But wow, that explains. It's a very nice current jump then.
Yeah, no, that was a really well executed current jump, but that's really gonna hurt. And I don't know if Futon, like, I don't want to say this is the race, but I don't know when Futon realizes this.
Ooh, and Catfish just giving a green rupee right there. Does have a check though with the shovel, so we'll be able to check that and hopefully loop that in. And there's Tempered Sword over on Big Dunka's side, so good news. We don't have to do Master Sword Silver Ganon. Oh, and there's logic.
Yeah, that's a nice logical lamp there. But as we said, I mean, I feel like Dunka's gonna hit that. I just don't know when. Like, well, maybe not. At this point, Dunka's, you know, going, I've got ice after this. Maybe I'll find fire somewhere else. I don't want to go to Desert Palace because it's a pendant. You know, who cares about a mushroom? So, I don't know.
Well, and a mushroom that leads to shovel that leads to lamp. That's a fun logic chain right there. Right. But Futon will be able to do pod in logic with that lamp. And looks like we'll be doing that back to back. As we are about 2/3 of the way done with Eastern. Just a couple more rooms to go for Dunka.
So I guess, you know, if you're in Dunka's shoes, I think we would agree that ice is the next play.
Yeah, at this point it really is ice because you can't do. Yeah, the only other thing would be if you're hoping for like hook shot or fire rod in like Swamp Palace. I mean, we've already had one sort of vanilla French vanilla hammer, so maybe this is maybe that's the theme of the seed. And this is going to be pretty nice, having those silvers against Armos Knights. Not even worrying about getting refilled.
Yeah, this isn't even going to be a fight at this point.
Right. Don't blink, you'll miss it.
Yep, that was an easy fight.
And hey, you even get 4 arrows back from the beginning of the fight. And there is crystal number 3. on Dunka's side.
I will be curious here, with Futon having the big key and the fire source already, are we going to see I was about to say, do we see go into Helma first? No, Futon is still going to go for the back first. Thought maybe we see a direct go to Helma just because you're right there anyway.
Right, and you've got the mirror, so it's pretty quick to go back. But we
Yeah.
are indeed getting that Ice Palace play from Dunka's side. Waiting just that split second so the freezer comes out of the hallway, because if you're going to be using Bombos Medallion, you only want to use it once.
But yeah, to those of you who are just tuning in and wondering, you know, what the story is of this race, or where we are at this point, we had a hammer in Thieves Town. We had Nit's Dark World access, which weren't too bad. But the big difference right now is Dunka getting the flippers off of the Smith. And while Futon did turn in the Smith, did not talk to him to get the flippers. So we're not entirely sure when Futon will remember that and be able to get those. And they are required for Swamp Palace, so that is a huge difference right now.
So Dunka didn't go back and hit the switch.
And I actually agree with that kind of play. When it comes to Ice Palace clearing, I have found that if you are going to full clear this dungeon, don't even worry about hitting the switch. Just go as if you're going to do everything.
Okay. All right, and so far just a map so far.
Yeah, like when you're in go mode, I agree with the idea. Oh, I've got a full clear. I've got to make sure, or I don't have to full clear, so I'm just going to, you know, come in, hit the switch, and then go straight for cold stare. But in a situation where at least looking for 2 rods, a hook shot, and maybe a medallion, at this point, like, I think it's really heads up to just say, why go back?
All right, that's a good call. I can dig that. I can dig that. All right, and getting ready for, again, one of those things you don't want to have to do twice, just because, you know, it's a, what, 8 seconds, 9 seconds?
Yeah, unfortunately, Bombos Medallion is our slowest one to use.
But remembering that you don't have a hook shot, so you've got to do this the vanilla way. Unfortunately, with the key layout, a hook shot was not required.
Yeah, Ice Palace key logic. Every commentator and runner's favorite thing to analyze on stream.
Oh, of course. All right, nice tea room. Just 10 arrows. That's Ice
a
Palace.
Third item.
Yeah, that's it's been a pretty empty Ice Palace, but
Yeah.
it's crystal, so.
Yeah, and at this point, I mean, what we can say is based on the combination of items we've seen from Futon and Dunka, I think we know that the next play has to be the mountain. You know, I think we see Futon head there after Eastern, while Dunka, I don't know if we see Dunka assume that the lamp or the flute is the logic off of that mushroom or in desert. Or does he dip front of swamp? I'm not sure what kind of play Dunka's going to make here for him in terms of his next logical bout.
Right. Now, over on Futon's side, did take care of King Helmasaur for crystal number 2. Is about to go into Eastern Palace for that 3rd crystal. And very quick work of Cold Stare, putting that Tempered Sword to good use. Oh, there's item number 3, with that heart container, that vanilla heart container, but either way, there is crystal number 4.
Yeah, and Futon after this is only going to be a crystal down. It's just unfortunate that it's not leading us really any direction to get back. I mean, at this point, I feel like Futon needs to find Fire Rod to even consider being back in that area, and I just don't know when that happens.
Yeah, at this point, yeah, Dunka looks like we'll be climbing the mountain. Yep. It will be technically out of logic, but we do know where that lamp is, and of the dark rooms, this is one of the nicer ones. All right, and Gary has just a couple arrows for us that we can't even hold on to. Cabbage has given Big Dunka a little bit of trouble here. Each one doing a full heart of damage no matter what armor you have.
So yeah, I'm expecting we're going to see something here. For Dunka, what he's got to be hoping for is a fire source. Just something that keeps him away from needing that mushroom. But for Futon, it's kind of the opposite. You know, you're almost hoping that our other fire source is locked by fire.
And as we start to make our way into Tower Hera, there is the basement chest that you really hope, as you go through, don't have to touch. I was half expecting the fire rod to drop down at the tablet.
Yeah, if anybody's wondering where we got that lamp, Futon collected our mushroom off of the desert ledge to get the shovel off the turn-in, and then the dig spot had our lamp. So, fun times.
Right. Okay, so there's still a chance for the basement to not have anything. We don't have an item. We don't have an item yet. Meanwhile, that is crystal number 3 over on Futon's side. Taking care of the Armos Knights with those silver arrows. Let's see where Futon goes at this point. There's item number 1, just a heart piece.
Dunka gonna do the drop down, it looks like, for our big chest. Can't blame him. I'm not a big fan of this bomb jump either.
Right, it's a pretty costly one if you miss. Okay, so it's 50-50. Will the small key be on Moldorm, or will it be in its own chest? Or will it be locked by itself?
And unsurprisingly, Futon, after having cleared Eastern, is also making the play up the mountain. For him, this is his best option, because Flippers obviously, you know, are locking the 2 dungeons here in the lower world. But here we go, Moldorm, and nice spin to start. There's that slash. Moldorm down. Is it our item?
It is. Whew. And it's a green pendant, so it'll be another item as well, at least. So yeah, Tower Hera being the green pendant isn't too bad, just because it is a pretty quick dungeon.
Yeah, green pendant good option at this point. You know, probably wants to get as much of the mountain done as possible before leaving.
Right, and Dead Rock's gonna Dead Rock. Oh, and there's the fire rod, I think. Over on
It was a rod of a certain. I didn't notice the color.
We have found the A-Rod. And we have access to Turtle Rock. Wow, so hammer pegs was required. That's going to feel better for Futon for going back and checking hammer pegs. Yeah, we'll go ahead and see. Check out what's in Super Bunny Cave. And if it was Fire Rod, then and I'd imagine Dunka would have had a better view of it. But we'll see if we go into Hookshot Cave without the hookshot. Well, in either way, it's a rod, so it's going to be required, I guess.
We definitely need it. No bonk shot today. And it looks like Futon is going to go for that bomb jump, and that was fire, wasn't it?
That was, and good bomb jump there by Futon, so that'll pick up a couple seconds. Still has a ways to go, but that did pick up a little bit of time. And it does mean that we will still be on that ice rod hunt. We're still going to need a couple more items, hookshot. Well, hookshot, actually, and lamp for logic, but we are whittling down the items that we need. All right, and we're getting our first look into Paradox Cave. And so far, just a little bit of money, as Futon opts to do Spike Cave first.
Yeah, Dunka giving us that Paradox 5. Nothing really yet. We'll see if we get something good out of this, though. Some more money and just the blue cane. And a fire shield out of Spike.
So that's yeah, not a whole lot, but Dunka will be able to remain on the mountain. Futon does get to save and quit, at least, but we'll have to go and loop back up through to get over to the East Death Mountain area.
And it looks like Dunka might be heading into Turtle Rock at this point.
Yeah, and I think I like this call. You can pretty much clear it. There aren't a whole lot of places that you can otherwise do. Swamp, left side swamp. That's pretty much it. You can complete Skull Woods at this point. Actually, I'm trying to remember. Did we pull... Was it just the mirror out of Skull Woods, or did we pull out 2 items?
I didn't recall one, because I remember we got at least the big key and the compass, among other things, so I think we only got 1 item? so far.
Okay. And Dunka going the correct way when you don't have the hook shot. Always feels kind of bad when you go the wrong way during that loop. But there we go. All right, and chat confirming we had just pulled out the mirror in the big chest of Skull Woods, so the second item is in the back. And you know, Ice Rod could be on Ped. That's our last Ped item that could be useful.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, Dunka probably isn't going to even get the lamp. Realistically, I don't see that being a play.
Right, unless the Ice Rod really starts getting kind of buried somewhere, like if you pull the flute and like you go Mire area, but even then, you go to Mire area, there's 3 checks that you can do pretty quickly before even Mire. So I think we pick up the flute soon, but we do at least get the bunny sprite for over on Dunka's side.
Vanilla Big Key and TR, always a fun time.
Oh, of course. And as we crossed into the 1 hour mark, please make sure to follow our runners, putting on a great show for this conference semifinal to win the right to go to the Dark World Conference Finals. Big Dunka and Futon putting on a good show for us. And the mimics being kind of jerks right now. But there we go. Oh, and there we go. All right, and there was a small key in the big chest. It's one of those things where if you're in go mode and you and your keys are like here in the roller room, and another potion, by the way. It always feels bad when there are no keys on Laser Bridge, but it was back in the big chest that if you skipped. All right, and navigating through the dark, Big Dunka is on his way over to Laser Bridge.
Yeah, we'll see how he, if we find anything. We do know this is in logic, and there's the hook shot. Whew.
Well, we're just an Ice Rod now from go mode.
And it doesn't look like we're going to get it, unfortunately.
Right. Although, yeah. Right, still needed the. Although, kind of surprised that Dunka saved and quit. Although,
I think from Dunka's perspective, there's no way we're getting Ice Rod in a manner to be able to save the portal, because realistically, you're going to do Skull into Swamp, and And even if you got your ice rod out of Skull Woods, I don't think you plan on heading directly back to TR just to save that portal.
Yeah, that's. I'd agree with that. Either way, you're gonna have to climb the mountain. So, but yeah, and this is also, I guess, the pet check just in that one-off. And Futon did go the wrong way, but took the safety loop right there.
Yeah, and Chad is bringing up the one thing we could have checked and saved that portal, of course, would have been Hookshot Cave, but unfortunately, Dunka decided to bail. So this could be an opportunity for Futon, depending on what we find in the back of Skull or even Swamp Palace. Or actually, the thing is that Futon doesn't even have the option of Palace, so he's going to have to, I think, do Hookshot Cave.
Right. So this is shaping up to be a very interesting race. All right, and Duncan going to the back with the Temper Sword. Mothula is pretty nice. Is going to go ahead and pick up some magic along the way, though, which I completely respect. Skiptos are rude.
We are through it, though, and we're not even going to have to kill the last Gibdo for the small key at this point. We have been finding the keys pretty reliably.
Yep, so the undead thing gets to live.
Here we go, Moth for crystal number 5 on Dunka's side. Moth relatively behaving. Nicely done for the kill.
Yep. All right. All right, and there is crystal number 5 over on Big Dunka's side. And we are gonna, yep, looks like we are gonna get a pet check here. So, what will we have? Will it be useful? Will it be the ice rod? Nope.
Just money.
And 1 hour, 6 minutes, 3 seconds in, pet is dead.
It had to happen eventually.
And that's also probably a relief because where would the flute be at this point?
I feel like we're going to get something out of Swamp, and I would be unsurprised for it to be flute here.
Yeah, and now let's see if Dunka goes. I mean, probably wouldn't go left side swamp until at least going through the dungeon once. If we're not in go mode by then. Meanwhile, Futon making his way back to the back of Turtle Rock. We'll be picking up that hook shot over on Laser Bridge. And there we go. The one of the keys that when you've got shuffled keys, key sanity. Just a fun one. All right, and we're seeing over on Futon's side what Big Dunka did in the dark. Kind of see why it's kind of nice to have the lamp in this area.
Yeah, not required, but always preferable. I think the way to talk about it is, you know, if you can find a lamp, it makes your life better or easier overall. You know, all of our runners are completely adept at getting through these checks without a lamp. It's just the ability to have one matters.
Right. It feels it does feel a lot better, especially in a high stakes race like this. The less things that you have to stress about, the better. Ooh, and Futon's down to 2.5 hearts before picking up that key, but gets it just fine.
And Futon is going to give us the hookshot cave check, so this is going to be really interesting.
Meanwhile, Big Dunka going to the back is going to go ahead and do the vanilla way. Does I mean, it doesn't necessarily matter in this race right now, but does Big Dunka no diver down?
I mean, he had both options available, so I'm surprised by not, but apparently he does not do diver down, so...
Okay. And to answer the question... Oh, that's a nice half magic spot. To answer the question in chat, flippers were in the Smiths. There's red armor over on Futon's side, and piece of heart. So, unfortunately, that was not the answer.
Yeah, and that was really the big opportunity for Futon to kind of try to gain an edge here. But that does raise the question, where's the ice rod? What do we have left?
Right, where is our progression? Very nice shot by Duncan, by the way. And we still have left side swamp, which is that's always a fun phrase. But that is crystal number 6 over on Big Dunka's side. Because yeah, desert. Futon cleared desert for a total of 6 bombs, or didn't clear it, but it's 6 bombs total. Oh, we do have the green pendant turn in still.
Oh yeah.
I think that's where Dunka's going right now. Or, oh, and that's right, because our 5-6.
Yep. Pyramid Fairy, awesome.
Yep, because Skullwoods and Swamp Palace were our 5-6 crystals, so this will be at least a couple checks for Dunka. And Futon using the lamp to light the torches here. Save a little bit of magic.
Yeah, it didn't have a ton, so I think there was still enough to get it, but gonna take it a little bit slower.
Right. All right.
Pyramid. There's our ice rod.
We are in go mode. 1:12:10. 1 hour, 12 minutes, 10 seconds. Big Dunka is in go mode. Will not find that lamp.
Yeah, and I mean with silver arrows, and half magic, like lamp is not a big deal, even when you get to cannon. So we're in decent shape on Dunka's side.
Right. And at this point, now that you've checked everything else in Turtle Rock, it will be a quicker go through. And Futon getting the bad news about Pedestal.
Yeah, and the big thing here for Futon is I don't know if he realizes what he has left. Because realistically, he doesn't have anything left.
That's
He
a good.
needs those flippers.
That's a good point because Swamp's out. Gonna turn in the green pendant.
And that's a good check. It's just, we know it's not that.
I really hope it's not flute.
Yeah, unfortunately, as we said, you know, that flipper skip is kind of an early
Oh no.
Sorcerer Fitch, what have you done?
Oh no. Oh no. The only good thing is this takes you back towards that area. Maybe it's like, oh yeah, I skipped I skipped it on the first way. Let me go check the Smiths. Oh no.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, as we said at as soon as we realized that Futon had skipped the Smith talk, it was kind of a bad situation, but yeah, it's unfortunate. You know, but this just does happen sometimes, and you really just hope it doesn't. I think we all have those kinds of stories.
Oh, absolutely. And the good news is this is game 1 out of 5 between these two teams as well. So it is a best of 3 out of 5. So this isn't for the tournament life or the playoff life of Futon and PugTrio. So that's some good news.
Yeah, I'm just gonna see if we have any of the other games on this series. We do have a second game on the series set for Saturday with Solsky and Arier, but that's it right now. What mode is it going to be? I do not have a mode listed. Oh wait, are they cross keys?
I think that's the cross keys one, yeah. And it looks like Meyer is ether locked.
So yeah, they are cross keys. So the power pendant matchup is not yet on the schedule. When we know more, be sure to check back in as well.
All right, so we do need ether medallion for Meyer, so at least that's locked out for now.
Yeah, but meanwhile, Dunka taking down Trinex. This will be crystal number 7. And Futon's heading towards, I guess this is Bombo's tablet as a last location. But, I mean, there is quite a gap now at this point. Really unfortunate. And I do see a bunch of numbers in chat. I can only imagine this is about some Ganon's Tower big key. What do you think?
I am going to guess lucky number 5. What are you thinking?
I'm usually on the side of 7.
All right, that's a good number. That's a good number.
Seems to be pretty common, but, you know, we'll see what happens.
All right, and there is ether. There's key, so that's number 1 and 2, and it does mean that we cannot access Meyer without already having GT access. There, number 3. Number 4. Lucky number 4.
That's a very quick big key, and we've got the 2 small keys that we'd want for this climb. So just an And at 16 hearts blue mail, this is a pretty advantageous setup and not too bad for Dunka.
Yeah, and congratulations as well to Torsui and Airbomb24 for getting number 4.
So Dunka going through our Mimic rooms, that is Mimic 2's down, so now heading towards the Gauntlet.
All right, and Futon is going into Ice Palace. It is out of logic, given the item set, but otherwise it's very completable once you're inside.
Yeah, at this point, just probably figures, you know, I'm not sure what I didn't do, so let me get something done I know is towards an end. Maybe I find Ice Rod. But at this point, you know, Futon definitely in the position of saying, where did I miss probably the flippers?
All right. Meanwhile, Duncan going through the gauntlet, going through two of the, in my opinion, two of the harder rooms in that gauntlet with the blue Zyzax and the red Stalfos. But getting through just fine.
2 and 3 are probably the hardest ones. I would have to venture.
Yep. Ooh, very nice Landmo 2 fight. Or Landmo, the first fight that happens to be Landmo 2, I guess. All right.
So Dunka has plenty of magic here to get through torches 1 and 2, as well as half magic. So even without the lamp, this is going to be a pretty easy.
Right. Now, it is one of those things where having a lamp definitely is a quality of life thing, but yeah, with the fire rod, it's just as all right. All right, and Moldarm 2 goes down. Let's see. We're not going to check the post Moldarm chest. Very nice ice. Very nice bomb jump over on Futon's side as well. Fair. It was probably just going to be $20 in there anyway. So, but we are on the Aga 2 fight. I think that only counted as 2 hits right there, as we do our practice of agonometry. And there's 6.
Very nicely done. Dunka heading for a decent time, even with some of the required double dips we had in this one.
All right, and down to face Ganon. What words of wisdom does Ganon have for us today? And now as a quick check, how many of you are testing if you can hum while holding your nose closed? Very quick phase 1, by the way, and about to be a very quick phase 2 fight over on Big Dunka's side.
Yeah, nice phase 1 and 2 from Dunka to get us into phase 3 already.
And a nice cold stare fight over on Futon's side for crystal number 6. 5. 6. 5. Sorry, crystal number 5.
Yeah, unfortunately, between Swamp and TR, Swamp is locking the completion of TR, so...
Yeah. And that is... And at this point, yeah, Futon is wondering where to go at this point. But get your GGs in chat, as Big Dunka just has to cross the most dangerous 1x3 bridge in Hyrule. And that is race.
And unfortunately, I believe right after that completion, it does appear that Futon has also decided to forfeit. Actually, according to the race room, it might have actually happened in the opposite order, as we are now joined by Big Dunka, GG.
Yo, thank you, GG.
So, what'd you think about that one?
Sorry for people that skip Skullwoods.
Whew. You know, that was a fun discussion in the chat about you and the front of Skull, so...
I mean, don't skip it. I mean, I can skip it if you want, I guess, but I have bad luck skipping it, so...
Yeah, between that, we were wondering, like, because just with the knowledge that you accumulated and released to everyone, for the for all the seeds, like if you were wondering, like, okay, Skullwoods is statistically likely to have something here.
Well, I've been saying that for over a year now, so, you know, whatever.
So yeah, I mean, it seemed like a pretty. So what do you think about the seed overall?
I mean, it worked out really well the way I routed it. I find it funny that I never found Flute or Lamp. Found out after where they both were. But yeah, it was kind of funny about all that. But no, I mean, honestly, I routed that about as well as I could have routed it. The only thing I did that I didn't really need to do was Hera.
And even then, it's still understandable.
Yeah.
And yeah, with that green pendant turn in, because that's where the flute was. So.
Yeah. Yeah, and I found out what happened. We've been chatting about it. I've done that once where I forgot to go back, and then as I was leaving with the purple chest, I went back and, you know, got my smithy items. So apparently he was unaware that you could actually do that.
Yeah, that's it's tough. It's tough.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's one of those things. I mean, we've all done something like that in this. That, you know, it's one of those things. It's unfortunate that it happens in a race like this, and you learn, and you never ever do it again.
That's true. All right.
Yeah, for anybody who might have missed the race, flippers are on Smiths, and unfortunately, Futon, while having turned in the Smith, did not go back in to collect the item, and that's kind of the story here.
Yeah, it's one of those things. We've all skipped stupid locations. I skipped chess game one time and had fire rod in there.
Yep.
And that was in the 2018 tournament. So it does happen. It's unfortunate that it happens when it happens, but yeah, again, you learn, and it's one of those things you never, ever, ever do again.
Yeah. And in the meantime, you ran a very clean race as well, Dunka. GG on that.
Yeah, yeah, it felt really good.
Well, it's nice to get that, because I think your escape was, what, 5:13? It was, okay, and actually, Futon's showing off a couple glitches, it looks like, for our benefit as well.
Yeah, why not? Go for it.
Hey. Oh, wow. Well done.
That's one I hadn't seen before like that.
Into the bat of all places.
But anyway, yeah, that was interesting. Never seen that one before.
Well, and probably only one you can get without the flippers, because how else do you fall through the water?
Right, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that. Yeah.
Oh, that's fantastic. And please make sure to follow our runners. They do such a fantastic job putting on this race.
Yeah, it's good to get the first one under the belt. Not only that, it takes a lot of pressure off the teammates. So, on that side, I'm happy that hopefully they'll have a little bit smoother race whenever they get theirs in this week. So, yeah, it feels good to get the first one out of the way. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I did see that we do have the Cross Keys matchup already on the schedule for Saturday. So, and at this point, no real plan set for that Power Pendant game. So I'm not sure what the
that one actually had to be rescheduled. We had to replace. Thelaine had to step off the team to take care of some personal things. So we had to bring our alternate in, and that one needs to be rescheduled. So
okay.
Yeah, so, but hey, you get to see Blaine do some stuff.
Yeah, we were.
It's funny when you've got somebody like Blaine as your alternate.
Well, and then when because I think we learned earlier where Blaine was one of the original members of Era 216 as well, so it's like it's past and present,
Yeah, I took his spot when he left, and I believe I can't remember who it was during the when in season 2 when that was announced, and it was clear as day. The team has been upgraded, and I got a nice big pat on the back for that, even though it's a complete and utter lie. I still held it over his head for a while.
Oh, very cool. All right, so any final thoughts on the race?
No, again, it's good to get the first one under the belt, get it done with. Thanks, everybody, as always, that puts this stuff together, and I'm going to go have some apple pie and ice cream.
Oh, nice.
Oh, heck yeah. All right, and congrats on, again, winning the first of the best of 5 between PugTrio and Era 216. Again, in these conference semifinals. Jesse, any final thoughts on the seed?
So, for those of you who are looking for some more content tonight, we do have a race coming up in just about 30 minutes. We've got a matchup between the Titans mates and Did You Check Your Boot? Relkin versus Werfjig. That'll be right here on SpeedGaming at just 10 past 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So awesome racing still to come tonight. And we've got plenty of racing through the rest of this week, especially for the Invitational League, as this is the start of the conference semifinals. Those just started on Monday, so plenty of races going on between those 4 series. In terms of the Open League, doesn't look like we have another race there until Friday morning at 10 a.m. And that looks to be a game 4 between In Rod We Trust and Last Locationeers. So still some race content tonight, though. Definitely give it a watch if you're still interested in watching some more. Link to the past randomizer. And make sure to follow all the SpeedGaming channels, not just this one, but 2 through 6 are equally as great choices. And the ALTTPR League channels, as sometimes some races get put over there. So plenty of options for all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think that's going to do it for us tonight here. It's been a pleasure to con with you tonight, Sorcerer Finch. And thank you to Clearmouse for helping with the tracking, as always.
Indeed, and it's been a pleasure coming with you, Jesse. And Clearmouse, again, thank you for pressing the buttons, keeping us honest. And thank you, our viewers, for watching along. And we hope to see you again later in Hyrule. Have a great evening, everyone. Y'all take it easy.